This week on the Island Times News Update, Neptune Beach eliminates the hard deadline in its sign ordinance. A resolution opposing offshore seismic mapping stalls in Jacksonville Beach, and the Beach Church announces the new role for the old post office. Welcome to the Island Times News Update. I'm Tom Patton. The Neptune Beach City Council on Monday night passed the latest version of its sign ordinance, but there is still work to be done to make all members of the council and some business owners happy with the law. The major change that was made Monday was the removal of a hard deadline for all signs in Neptune Beach to be brought into compliance with the ordinance. The Community Development Board had recommended that the ordinance require all signs in the city to be changed by December 31st, 2017, but that deadline was opposed by Councilors Scott Wiley, Kara Tucker, and Richard Arthur. The council got into a lengthy discussion about when a sign should be replaced if there is not a hard deadline. Vice Mayor Richard Arthur said that he felt some of the language, particularly that dealing with damaged signs, was still too vague. City Attorney Patrick Krachowski said the language could be changed, but he would not make it a lot more specific.
The way to do it would be to define it as an act of God, which is a more recognized definition, as to weather-related acts. But I can highlight those too. Something may happen to a sign through no fault of the owner, and so any change necessitated by that kind of act, whether it's an accident or whether through no fault of the owner, would be encompassed in subsection 3 overall.
Community Development Board Chair Chris Chin said that the board did not have enough time at its last meeting to completely work through issues dealing with signs that advertise multiple businesses, such as at shopping centers. The Community Development Board had inserted language in the bill that gives them an additional 6 months to resolve those issues. Councilor John Jolly was the only one opposing removing the hard deadline, but he said he understood that it was going to be cut.
What I recommend is we just go ahead and accept Mr. Wiley's amendment, pass the bill as it is with the recommendation from the Community Development Board, and then knowing that within the next 6 months we're coming back and we can answer them. And these questions are the same one, Richard, you and I asked some of these same questions 3 or 4 months ago. Mm-hmm. So essentially, I think to try to fix them here at this meeting and then pass is too big of a deal.
The council passed the bill, including the provision giving the Community Development Board the additional time to work on the issue of multi-tenant signs by a vote of 4-1. The Neptune Beach Council also approved a variance for the construction of a VyStar credit union and passed an ordinance allowing food trucks to operate as caterers in the Central Business District. The VyStar Credit Union will be built on the parcels currently occupied by the long-vacant Sonic restaurant, as well as the adjoining lot where Bono's Barbecue restaurant is located. The variances were requested by the credit union to allow for non-standard landscaping and an increase in the number of parking spaces that would normally be allowed on the parcels. It's not known if Bono's will relocate in Neptune Beach or leave the city altogether. The council later voted to approve the development order for the new credit union. And the council gave final approval to an ordinance that will allow food trucks to operate in the Central Business District as caterers for special events, but will not allow walk-up sales in that area, and they can only operate during the event's posted hours. In Jacksonville Beach, the City Council was set to adopt a resolution opposing seismic testing offshore at its regular meeting Monday night, but ran into some problems when a move was made to change the resolution during the meeting. Mayor Charlie Latham said that he is not normally a proponent of resolutions in matters such as these, and had not intended to suggest one in the case of offshore seismic mapping.
I reached out directly to Congressman Crenshaw and asked him personally to give me a brief on where the U.S. government stood on the process. And then I contacted the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management and the National Marine Fisheries Service. Each of those individuals or each of those groups was required to post notice and provide a open forum public hearing in each community prior to suggesting to the government any blasting take place, seismic blasting take place. So we felt relatively comfortable back then that we had things under control, and we're paying close attention to the correspondence coming from all the organizations.
Latham said he was later contacted by another ocean advocacy group who felt it was important for there to be an official resolution on the part of the city, as have nearly 30 other coastal communities in Florida, including Atlantic and Neptune beaches. But Councilman Bruce Thomason said he had problems with some of the assumptions made with the language of the resolution, and that he favored one that did not draw conclusions that are not confirmed by hard science.
It talks about whereas the use of air guns to conduct these seismic tests threatens to harm and possibly kill fish populations. That doesn't say it will, it says it might, it may. The next section refers to the air gun blast can be heard hundreds of miles in the ocean and may drive whales to abandon their habitats. Shorter distances, they may cause permanent hearing loss, injury, and event death for whales, and so forth. But then in the very next section, after using very qualifying language, it says the proposed seismic air gun testing will result in serious negative impact to our marine resources. That's completely the opposite from the language that was used in the prior sections. And it says offshore drilling in and of itself poses a major threat to our coastal economy. I don't know that I could agree that the fact there's offshore drilling, contrary to the gentleman who spoke, in and of itself poses a major threat.
Thomason said the language in the St. Augustine resolution was more consistent and better expressed his concerns about the testing.
It doesn't use that same type of language, and it indicates that they're opposed to seismic testing in Atlantic Ocean waters until the complete evaluation of all testing options and the implementation of all proper assurances for protection of marine life are put in place. I like that wording very much, and I would propose to offer this as a substitute resolution if that would be appropriate.
While the council was in general agreement that the substitute resolution was a better choice, Councilman Phil Vogelsang offered an amendment that would correct some language he considered redundant in the final clause of the resolution. At that point, Councilwoman Christine Hoffman asked if there was a pressing need to pass the resolution Monday night.
And I do support this on its face, so I don't want there to be any mistake about that, but it seems like we've made some changes. We've got a resolution that doesn't necessarily reflect our standard resolution format, so I would move to table this issue until we can get it all corrected and exactly how we want to pass it.
Her motion to table passed 5-2 with Councilman Thomason and Mayor Latham voting no. The Jacksonville Beach City Council on Monday night also authorized the hiring of a part-time staffer to help coordinate the city's 75 special events every year. City Manager George Forbes said the Parks and Recreation Department should be allowed to hire one part-time staff assistant to work 25 hours per week and be paid $14,129 for the remainder of the current fiscal year. The council approved the hiring unanimously. Well, when we come back, sand dune repair and deck the chairs. This is the Island Times News Update.
Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning in Atlantic Beach offers a full range of residential and commercial heating and air conditioning services, from new installation to replacement and remodeling. Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning can keep your home comfortable year-round, and they offer preventive maintenance contracts to keep your system running at peak efficiency. Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning is an authorized Bryant dealer and will service all brands. For year-round comfort in your home or business, contact the original Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning at 241-1788. Beaches Academy Child Care Center in Jacksonville Beach has been offering affordable, loving child care to families in the Beaches communities for 35 years. Conveniently located on Penman Road, Beaches Academy offers care for children from infants through preschool, with programs that encourage learning and outdoor play. Our affordable tuition means families can get quality child care at a price that fits their budget. Contact Beaches Academy at 246-3885 and schedule a tour of our center. Beaches Academy, the child always comes first.
Welcome back to the Island Times News Update. I'm Tom Patton. The former Jacksonville Beach Post Office at 7th Avenue North will be converted into a place that provides a number of community services to the residents of the Jacksonville Beach communities and surrounding area. Named 7 North, the Beach Church is providing the $2 million asset to the community. The building has been vacant for 5 years, and when the renovation is completed, Beach's Emergency Assistance Ministry, or BEAM, will relocate its thrift store from its current location on Shutter Avenue to 7 North. Additionally, the Community Food Bank Feeding Northeast Florida, which serves 17 area counties, will establish a satellite center for distributing food to more than 30 faith-based and nonprofit agencies between Mayport and St. Augustine. And the Sulzbacher Center plans to collaborate with Baptist Health and other partners to bring educational awareness, training, and treatment through programs such as Youth Mental Health First Aid and Baptist's rotating chaplaincy program to the facility. 7 North is an incorporated entity and has applied for nonprofit status as a 501c3 organization. A group of Fletcher High School students is working to preserve and stabilize the dune system that protects the beaches through a project that will increase the sea oats growing on the dunes. The project is being spearheaded by Kevin Brown, a marine sciences teacher at Fletcher High School. Since November, the students have been collecting data on the growth patterns of the sea oats on the dunes along the ocean in all 3 beach communities, identifying areas where additional sea oats should be planted. The students said their project involves measuring the number of sea oat plants in the various areas of the community and introducing additional plants in areas where the vegetation is sparse. Speaking at Beaches Watch Wednesday night, Fletcher student Jacob Orender said the project has surveyed the sea oats all along the Neptune Beach shoreline.
With the group, we took the quadrant of PVC pipe and tested the concentration of sea oats, of sprigs in the area. These are just a few city blocks. We actually did all of Neptune Beach, going to Seagate all the way down. And here's what, as you see, as like sample 1, we have 18 sprigs per the human area, and that's relatively low, as the area needs 10 more. And that's just an example of all that we have. From our oleander, it's more of a higher density. So basically, when we walk through, we already have pinpoint locations of where we need more sprigs and sea oats to be planted.
Fletcher student Noah Bosco said the students will be planting additional sea oats in the next few weeks so they can become better established during the upcoming summer rainy season. Beach's Historical Society Executive Director Chris Hoffman provided an update on the Osterreicher McCormick Cracker Cabin project at the Beaches Watch meeting on Wednesday night. Hoffman said that over $200,000 has been raised through individual donations and a matching grant from the Davis family. Additionally, a gift described as very significant from Beaches resident Thomas Lenoble will go toward helping to move and restore the cabin, which was built in 1873 and is the oldest such structure known to exist in Duval County.
This house is in danger of being torn down if we were not able to save it. I'm really proud to announce that we have hit our fundraising goal, and we received a match from the Davis Family Foundation to allow us to have enough money to not only get it ready, because that's a huge process, it's been there since 1873, but put it up on a truck and bring it down here and refurbish it.
The gift from Mr. Lenoble will go not only toward the renovation of the Osterreicher cabin, but will also endow a fund that will help to continue preservation work done by the Historical Society. Deck the Chairs raised $8,000 to benefit the Red Cross Volunteer Life-Saving Corps with its second annual event over the Christmas holidays. That word came from Deck the Chairs founder Curtis Loftus at Wednesday's Beaches Watch meeting, who said a check in that amount will be presented March 18th to the Lifeguard Corps. Loftus said the amount was due to a matching grant from Jacksonville City Councilman Bill Gulliford, who donated campaign funds to a variety of local Beaches nonprofits following his unopposed bid for a second term on the council. State election laws allow candidates to donate excess funds in their campaign accounts to charities after their election is decided. Loftus said the event was a major draw for Jacksonville Beach during the holiday season.
So we also have a pretty good guesstimate that over 20,000 people over the course of November, then in November, December, into January. We have 5 weeks in the Pavilion area plaza. So that's probably a conservative estimate again.
Loftus said over 300 Beaches residents directly participated in the Deck the Chairs event over its 5-week run, and over $65,000 was injected into the local economy, which does not account the additional business done by retailers and restaurants in Jacksonville Beach in December. Toys for Tots raised a record amount during an on-site event in Latham Plaza, Loftus said. Well, prior to the first election, Beaches Watch is providing candidate information on the Beaches Watch website so Beaches voters can learn more about the Jacksonville candidates. Beaches Watch sent the Jacksonville mayor, sheriff, and at-large city council candidates a questionnaire with questions regarding issues important to Beaches voters, and the candidates' responses have been posted on the Beaches Watch website. Well, around the beaches in the coming week, the Jacksonville Beach Art Walk takes place March the 10th. The event is held the second Tuesday of each month from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. You can bring your family out to see dozens of great local artists, hear musicians perform, and visit the participating businesses throughout the downtown Jacksonville Beach area. And the Belk Music Festival is planned for Saturday, March 14th in the Seawalk Pavilion. The one-day Oceanfront Music Festival celebrates the roots and soul of Southern music, combining an exciting lineup of modern Southern music performers with Southern food and a unique marketplace of colorful, trendy, and eclectic arts, crafts, and other items. Well, don't forget to set your clocks forward an hour before you go to bed Saturday night as we make the change back to daylight savings time at 2 o'clock on Sunday morning. And early voting in the first municipal election begins Monday, March 9th. The only early voting location at the beach is the library on 3rd Street in Neptune Beach. The National Weather Service says we can expect sunshine Saturday and Sunday with a high in the mid-60s. A chance of rain moves in on Sunday night and continues daily through Thursday, but it will get warmer with highs in the mid-70s and lows in the 60s. The Island Times is always digital, always free at www.theislandtimes.com. Become a subscriber and get updates on news from the Beaches communities delivered right to your email box. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. I'm Tom Patton. Thanks for watching.